we have an infinite tunnel going on.
I think Jay said he was coming.
Oh, yay. Yeah, I was just going to leave the first like 5 or 10 minutes for people to... I still need to set up for some things. So, and also, hey, Deepti. And also, Marion said she'd join through the live stream, but apparently YouTube ended its Hangouts on Air feature.
Really?
Yeah, so we can't start Hangouts on Air anymore. So now she has to just chat through the live stream. I'll try to figure out another platform for us, but oh no. Yeah, it's different now. It's only through everyone.
Right now, right?
Swing? Y'all are in swing?
I accepted it. Yeah. I just need, more distractions away from me actually having to do my actual jobs. Like employment after graduation, or figuring out my lawyer, my situation with my lawyer. Patents. Yeah, I hired a patent lawyer over the summer. One of my uncle's best friends since like they were kids is a really big lawyer. And like I've gone to rock concerts with this guy. Like I've known him my entire life, and in his firm, he has a patent law. So of course he says, "Hey, like, if you need a patent lawyer, like, I can put you, I can have like the partner work with you personally." And I'm like, "Sounds good to me." So they lowered the rate, going rate for it, but it's still very expensive. So I want to get it done as fast as possible.
Oops. Let's see.
So how was everyone's Friday night?
It's good.
What y'all do?
I was doing some homework, honestly, and then I spent
That doesn't sound good.
No, but then I spent time with seeing cans. You know her, right?
I don't think so.
Oh, she's on swing, so yeah.
What about you, Simon?
I went to a Mid-Autumn Festival thing.
Oh, nice.
It was fun.
I thought the Duke Asian Students Association was supposed to do something like that.
They like delayed it.
Yeah, I didn't realize it because I was like, why I can speak Spanish, so why is there Spanish music playing at the BC Plaza during the Mid-Autumn Festival? Hi, Andrew.
Oh, and Marion's here as well. So.
Come on,
Hi, Maya.
Yep. No problem. Oh, by the way, I recommend to anyone that can, if you've never watched the B movie Inebriated, I highly recommend it. That's fine. Like I actively encourage everyone. It's like an experience that you just have to try. Some of the jokes in there are top notch.
Moving around right now, so.
Do you need help with anything?
I don't think so, but let's see. Maybe everything will come crashing down. So.
this live stream is so like lagging behind.
Is it really?
Yeah.
That's not good. Oh yeah, I'm still in in the same position. Oh no.
Oh, yeah, that is very much something.
We'll need to figure out another alternative. So we used to use, for those of you who don't know, we used to use Google Hangouts through YouTube, and you could just join live. And YouTube just decided to take that feature down. So now I just went out today. So, it's right. Okay, cool. We can start off. We'll just have to hopefully pay attention to the lagging behind live chat. So for those who are in the chat. Okay. Hi everybody. I'm Simon. I'm the president of DDA this semester, and welcome to our first general body meeting. I guess we can start out with some introductions. So I'm a junior. I'm majoring in chemistry, be boring, but and I'm here because I took Dr. Q's freshman writing class first semester, freshman year. So it's been a long time now, but the rest was history. So yeah, and I guess the other thing I put on my introduction to ice papers was the last thing that made you smile. And the last thing that made me smile was eating mooncakes because they're so tasty. Yeah.
I'll go.
Yeah.
I'm Hannah. I'm a junior at Duke as well. I'm majoring in biology with a minor in math. Last thing I made me smile was I don't know.
Hearing something. So
Getting an assignment done.
My name is Maya. I'm a sophomore at Duke. I'm planning on doubling in environmental science and policy and public policy, and then getting a certificate in journalism, which is part of the reason why I'm here. For our first feature piece, we're writing opinion pieces on something that's really important to the Duke and Durham community, and my topic is going to be how the e-scooters are making Duke's campus less accessible to people, especially people with disabilities. So that's one of the main reasons why I'm here. And then the secondary reason why I'm here is my father had to, for many years, use a walker, a wheelchair, different mobility devices, and that's really heightened my sensitivity to ADA and making sure that people who are differently able are included and thought of in data.
My name is Kevin. I study how neoliberalism shapes urban environments and how to make cities more just. The Chronicle just wrote a piece on this that I think you would really love. It touches a lot on like accessibility and scooters generally.
Okay.
So I can continue that. But otherwise, what makes me smile? What has made me smile? Last night when I was going to bed at like midnight, my roommate decided to order IHOP. And so we just like stayed up and ate IHOP until 2 a.m. Yeah, which is like much later than I expected to be up. But it made me smile.
I'm Gabrielle. I'm a freshman and I'm undecided about what I'm going to study, but I'm interested in neuroscience or biology. And I'm here because I'm really interested in the accessibility of our environment around us, and also just in the way people with disabilities are represented in our culture. And the last thing that made me smile was when I called my brother last night.
Hi everyone, I'm Trent, and I am the Master of Coin for Duke Disability Alliance. I am here because I am very good friends with Jay, who asked me to be part of the e-board my freshman year, and I've been here ever since. The last thing that has made me smile was being inebriated watching the V movie last night.
I'm Dan Ellison, and I teach as an adjunct here. I've been teaching for the last 12 years. 2 courses. One is legal issues for the performing arts. I'm an attorney. The other is a course about nonprofit arts organizations generally. That we started a project, that's a service learning course, and we started a project 4 years ago that does audio description of public artwork to make it accessible to people who are blind and very low vision. And right now it's a phone call-up number that's menu-driven with the audio descriptions recorded, but working on getting an app developed hopefully by the end of year-ish. It will make it a lot easier for the delivery of those things and then scale it to other cities. And I'm here because of, my mom has been blind for 12 years or so I guess that's like a personal motivation for thinking about disability issues, and that's really led me into doing this kind of work as probably my primary interest at the moment of arts and accessibility. So very involved in the arts locally, regionally, and beyond, doing that kind of work. And I'm here specifically today to proselytize about the event that you all are co-sponsoring, which is a film screening with the filmmaker here for Q&A. And maybe we'll leave early, so I know you're happy at the end of the agenda, this sort of.
Oh no, yeah.
Do
If
it
you
now.
want to introduce it now, yeah. I was gonna have you announce it at the end, but go ahead.
Yeah, because I might not be here at the end.
Go ahead.
I have to help somebody jump his car.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Well, go ahead.
Anyway, so guess I'm going to go into teacher mode for just a moment. So it's really interesting. Yeah, so maybe that's my mode all the time anyway. It's called asshole or something. So intersectionality and like talking to people and telling them this kind of thing, what do you do where, oh, interesting, well, blah, 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 and that leads to things. So one of the things that I typically do is grab free coffee at the Washington Duke every morning and sit outside when it's nice and read emails, write emails, read stuff, and sort of get my mind and brain sort of twisted into the right direction, which makes me smile. So that off of the list of what I'm supposed to say. Just looking out over the beautiful landscaping there at the golf course, and it's like you're not anywhere. But one of the newer wait staff came up to me a couple months ago, said, hey, can I help you? Oh, what do you do? And told him, about the disability work, and he said, oh, well, I used to work for Jenny Gold, a filmmaker who has completed a film, Cinemability, about the depiction of people with disabilities in film. And, we talked a little bit about, oh, it'd be really cool to get a showing of the film here. It'd be great to have her here. Well, turns out she uses a wheelchair and doesn't fly anymore because the airlines always screw up her very specialized wheelchair. But she lives in LA, so that's a trend. So that wasn't going to work out, but like a month ago, it turned out she contacted me saying, oh, I'm going to be in Atlanta to co-host on Turner Classic Movies. I'll be driving to the East Coast to detour up here. So that's how this particular event came to be. All because of sharing the interest with a wait person at a hotel. So the lesson is like, keep proselytizing all the time about what you're interested in, because that connections can happen, and something good can come out of it. So tell all your friends. You email that to the listserv about it. Forward that on to everybody because it would really suck. I think we'll get 30. If we get 30 people, I'll feel good about it. If we get 50 people, I'll feel really good about it. And the place it seats 100, so who knows? That would be great.
Yeah,
I know that at least one class of the content writing program, the teacher's making it required.
Oh, interesting. Well, it's not at it's in a pretty accessible place in the Ruby theater, the big
And the film theater for Ruby.
Yeah, and so it's in the film theater there.
We had an event there last semester.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's at 6, so you're having a 6 p.m.
So
reception.
6 p.m. reception.
Yeah.
Most likely it's going to be pizza. So dinner. Because that's like the expensive thing.
What day is it?
Wednesday.
September 18th. Really soon. There'll be a screening at 7 and
And then
Q&A with the
Q&A.
director herself, which is going to be really cool, right?
Yeah. And for anybody who's kind of interested in film, great opportunity to make a connection because she actually usually does feature films. This is not, documentary film is not her norm.
And she has interviews in suitability with people like Ben Affleck and
It's like big stars.
big stars. Yeah, I was like, whoa. Ben Affleck.
Is there an electronic version of that?
Yes.
Yeah, I think,
Is there a Facebook event?
There is a Facebook event also.
Oh, that's
And
fine.
it is
and we'll
called-
advertise all this
The
through.
Facebook event is called Premiere Screening of Cinemability.
How long is the movie?
The movie is like 90 minutes. Yeah, it's right at 90 minutes. So, it'll be like essentially, with the Q&A, it's still somewhere.
Like probably 9 or 9:30,
Yeah.
because there's an hour and a half and 30 minutes for the Q&A.
Oh, good. Because when I tried
Well,
to
after
search
she
for
wants to talk like that, but
I never found it.
really,
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah, for sure.
So yeah.
In terms of the request for DBA's support, I have a meeting with SOFC tomorrow evening to be able to get those. Yeah. No, Tuesday evening.
Yeah.
Tuesday evening. So it will be, so if we get the money approved from them, then we should be able to transfer it to you that day of August. Yeah.
Yeah, I can give you the funds code.
That would be fantastic. Yeah. I went last week thinking that I was on there, but apparently I wasn't. So it was quite disappointing. I don't like.
And I'll send you an
minute.
updated budget of costs.
Mm-hmm.
Should I include?
I think this is the same one that Simon has already sent me.
Oh, we can talk about this.
Yeah, later.
Later. Yeah. But I think we're almost there. We just need this. Okay. When were we?
So thank you. Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, and we'll send out more info again. We'll keep pushing. Ability. I mean, it's really exciting because she's this Hollywood director. She does feature films, and she has a. I haven't watched the trailer actually, but I was saying if we have time at the end of the week, we can actually watch the trailer. So, but yeah. DTDR.
That would be fun.
Hi everyone, my name is Deepti. I'm a senior. I used to saying that. I was the president of Duke Disability Alliance last year before I somewhat thrusted upon Simon forcefully, but he's doing a great job. And this year I'm also the director of Disability Advocacy and Policy on the Duke Student Government Cabinet. So disability issues and like advocacy on campus is something I've just been involved in for most of my time at Duke. And this year, I think one of our biggest goals is to make headway with our proposal for a Disability Cultural Center on campus. As some of you may know, it's the Student Disability Access Office serves as the official body where students can get accommodations for classes or like make arrangements for more physically accessible dorms, etc. But there still isn't very much a sense of community between the people among the people with disabilities or students with disabilities. So we want to this center will probably help improve upon that because if you guys are familiar with the Center for Sexual and Gender Diversity, or I want to say it's CMA, or the one that is specifically for Latinx students. La Casa. Yeah, students have said that having those kinds of spaces has really helped them find community and integrate into youth more seamlessly. So that is something that I'm going to be really pushing towards. We're trying to set up a meeting with the Vice Provost of Student Affairs, Nick Mayhem. She's like the new Larry Minetta. And yeah. And I'm studying global health and public policy. And what made me smile last night, one of my friends just came over to my room and was like, I haven't seen you in like a million years. And he was like, 3 days. We just caught up and talked.
Do you want to introduce yourself?
I'm Hannah. I'm on first year. I guess why I'm doing this. My brother has cerebral palsy, so like very severely, so he can't talk, speak, or anything. So I just always been involved in helping people with disabilities, all that stuff. So that's good.
Awesome.
What was the last thing that made you smile?
Oh yeah, forgot about that.
What did I do last night?
You just smiled.
Yeah, there we go.
There we go.
That made me smile.
Thinking about me. Not having All right. So for those.
Jump a car, so I apologize.
Okay, that's fine. Thank you for coming.
Thank you all for.
See you very soon.
Yep. Thanks.
See you soon, Dan. It's great. I love it. But yeah, he spent a lot of time organizing this event, and it was like really last minute. And I'm so surprised that it's come together so well. Like he's done so much work for it. Anybody? Okay. I have to check with the chat occasionally. We used to have hangouts, but so they can talk to us, but now we don't. It's YouTube. Anyways. So I just wanted to introduce this year's overall themes, focuses for the year. So last year, DBA really transitioned from, we did a lot of programming on campus to develop a presence and like awareness of disability and accessibility issues on campus. And then last year, we really transitioned into advocacy, and we formed these things called task forces, or that's what we've dubbed them. So, and I'll introduce all the task forces, or I guess I'll have people introduce the task forces in a second. But, our big goal for last year was advocacy, and we really did a lot of work there. And this year, I want to continue supporting this advocacy, and DDA is going to continue working with all these task forces and helping push forward these initiatives, as well as developing some community around DBA. So I feel that part of DBA's mission is like to develop a community around the identity of disability. And so we explicitly haven't done too much community event stuff since 2 years ago now. But hopefully this year we can really get things going, have people just join us, have discussions about disability, share experiences, and we can talk about more later. But for now, we can go into our advocacy on campus. We have a lot of task forces going right now. It's really exciting. A lot of them are developing groups. Yeah, we're like the Power Rangers. So I guess we can start off with the Cultural Center Task Force, and Kevin, who is our leader of the task force, gave us a really cool introduction.
Yeah. Well, I think first of all is to say that it's a pretty collaborative task force, and I don't know that I would call myself the lead of it as much as I would someone that bugs everyone else to come to meetings. So I think that the task force started last year as an attempt to realize not only are we working on the issues that people with disabilities face, but we also want to foster a community amongst people with disabilities and really encourage that vibrancy, like Simon's saying. So we met with Lee Fickling and Tony Galliani, and they're in the Student Disability Access Office at CAO, and basically had a conversation with them of what would it take. They asked us to prepare a couple of reports. One is sort of a data analysis on of the 800 students that are registered with the Disability Access Office. What do those people want in terms of a community center? And then the second report was more of a, here are what other schools across the country are doing with the cultural center, and how could we replicate that, or what could we take from those to bring to bear here. And so the task force is last year was focused on those reports and getting that data and that background information, and now this year is more of a, all right, now we have the information, let's go to those meetings and actually talk to those people. So during this meeting, DP already sent an email out to the Vice Provost of Undergraduate Education to ask if we can have that meeting. And so that should be hopefully forthcoming in the next couple of months. And actually starting now the logistical asking administration how we can move forward. And this idea was birthed out of Jay and me working with the People's State of the University to sort of put it within the People's State 12 demands. So when we were helping found People's State, the idea was we wanted a really diverse coalition, and so we made the Cultural Center part of that. And so last year we had the support of People's State. Now that it's sort of dissolved, it's like more on our own hands and with DSG now, but I think still a really effective strain.
Awesome. Yeah, and I'm super excited to see it. It's moving super fast, actually. Okay, well, I guess we're moving on. We've actually started a new task force this summer. I think it was this summer, but I wish Marion could be here because she could give a big good introduction. But you know, if you want to type one, it'll take like 20 seconds for this video to catch up. But overall, the Disability Studies Curriculum Task Force is we started out trying to develop a certificate for disability studies, and that would, you know, certificates involve just 5 courses or so. It's flexible and such, but it's developed into something more. We want to just develop something like an initiative / program. You know, like global health has their secondary major kind of thing. We're not sure where it's going to go yet, but we want this thing to develop where students who are interested in this health humanities, kind of specifically focusing disability studies, interdisciplinary field. We want a structure for them to take these classes, and there are so many classes already existing at Duke that address disability studies or disabilities in health or medical system and stuff. So we've had a lot of work going on there. On Marion's side, there's the faculty. There's a lot of faculty pushing for this. There's a coalition of people, I think it's there with the HHL. And yeah, we had our first meeting on Tuesday, and stuff has been brought to the administration. Gary Bennett, undergraduate. Yeah, okay. And he was very enthusiastic about it. So let's see where that goes. We also have the ASL Curriculum Task Force. Simran is our liaison to the ASL Club for that. Simran's not here, unfortunately, but she might be here in the next couple of weeks to introduce it. Basically, the ASL Task Force has really tried to develop ASL into a foreign language option. And because there's been a lot of expressed interest in that as well. So there's actually an ASL club, and they started out with a house course last semester, and that went really well. And so apparently that the SDAO has expressed some like rumor that and the admin of Duke, whoever meant
That an
Provost?
ASL course may officially be offered to students. originally when we were first trying to hit the ground running with this, administrator said that we couldn't count ASL, American Sign Language, as part of like, or as a course that could help complete like foreign language requirements at Duke, because it's American Sign Language, therefore it's not foreign. But yeah, either way, right now, anyone who wanted to learn ASL at Duke last year, until last year at least, the group had like instructors coming in from outside and teaching people like on the side. So this is like, making good groundwork on, or at least I wouldn't take credit for it, but progress is being made in terms of offering ASL courses.
Yeah. Also very exciting. I'm just going to say all of these are very exciting. So
Also, Marion has responded.
oh yes, Deborah Jensen. Yeah. So Deborah Jensen and Dr. Q. Oh, not Marion. They are heading this push for the disability studies curriculum. I think is Deborah Jensen also the co-head of HHL with, because I know Marion is one of the heads.
Deborah Jensen, one time she was like involved in the administration of FHI writ large.
Oh, I don't. Okay.
Let me see. I think she might have changed position.
Well, they're getting a grant proposal. Yeah, she's the founder and co-director of HHL. Great. Cool.
What's it?
Oh, sorry.
Health
Health Humanities Lab, which is a kind of like a section of Franklin Humanities.
Yeah, so the Franklin Humanities Institute, FHI, sort of has like a bunch of different multidisciplinary things within it, and one of those are like humanities labs. And so there's like one on like from slavery to present, like legacies of slavery. There's one on like, there used to be one on storytelling, and now there's one on like health humanities lab, like a bunch of different unique labs up there. Really cool if you wanted to get involved also.
And Simran is actually, I wish you could see what she could talk about it. She's a work study student in the HHL this semester.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, that's an option if you want to get more after you
Yeah.
into it. One last task force that we have to introduce is the Accessible Maps project, which Trent has done a lot of work on.
It's mainly Jay, especially for being the point of contact. But it's essentially, last semester, a student here, Manish Kumar, came to DDA asking about how we could help with a project that he wants to do, which is create tactile maps for all the buildings on Duke for those with visual impairments. And so he came here, and because I work at the Innovation Co-Lab on Duke's campus, which is the 3D printing makerspace over there, that's immediately where I went to. So I hooked him up with several of my friends over there, and with the co-lab and this little team that Manish has put together, we have currently been mapping out and then creating and by 3D printing these tactile maps to put in place for all these buildings. The prototype was created in July, and not much has happened since then, but we're gonna get the ball rolling again.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. Again, very exciting. So this year, we have a lot of opportunities to get advocacy. How should I say this? There are a lot of people who have advocacy ideas and ideas for things they want to see developed on campus, and I think DDA is really wants to serve as a hub or like a support system for those people. So if anybody has particular ideas for like, oh, I want to develop a task force around this, so that I can develop A or B. DDA is trying to, this year, we'll try to develop a strong foundation for anybody who wants to do that. So, yeah. We also have several partners this year. This is like not our task forces, but it's kind of, yeah, I mean, I don't know, I call them partners. It's exactly anything, but we're partnering a bit with Horn, which Logan Welburn is the what's her name? What's her position statement? It's like disability and inclusion and share. And Clifton Horn is a theater company on campus, a student theater company on campus. So she's working to make some sensory friendly productions or showings of some of the productions this year. Just for, as an example, she's working with DMS, Disability Management Services, stuff like that. Again, DT already said we're hopefully gonna work with it or collaborate with DSG since DT is our liaison there. We also have people, Naira Ikram, I forget his name, but she founded the Autoimmune Campus Alliance, and they are really focused on invisible disabilities and particularly like stress that the kind of disability that's caused by stress on campus. And so she's not here right now, but she started that group and has asked CBA to help build that up. She wants to create more stress busting events, I think that's called them. So things like that, if you're interested in that, Naira's here. And Clubhouse, Emma, I really don't know how to pronounce some of their last names, but Emma Friesen, I think, she created this group that's neurodiverse friendly, and it's a community where they do activities that are neurodiverse friendly, and try to build community around this concept. So, okay, so I think we've got through like introduction of DDA as an overview for now. I guess I left some time in our agenda for a closing, or not, it's not done yet, but a reflection of what we want DDA to become this year, how we see DDA, like the role that it plays in Duke's campus, and what we want to see from DDA. So this year, again, I've said I want DDA to really found a community around the identity of disability, and along with all of our ongoing activism, which I think I also want to see keep blossoming, because everybody's been doing a lot of hard work, even over the summer, and it's not like we're getting paid for this, so people are really passionate about these activism projects. So yeah, I don't know if anybody else has anything to say.
I want to hear what your questions and comments are. Don't be shy. Yeah, go on again.
So how do we go about getting involved in the task force? In which?
Like, it seems like some of them are like closing up with like work.
No, nothing's closing up.
Nothing's
Okay.
closing up.
It just
Sorry.
seemed like that when you're like, you're
Yeah, no, let's clarify. Everything's just like at the beginning stages right now. There's but it's moving fast though. It feels great. But again, there's so much work to be done. I mean, you just ask Kevin. And
Yeah. So
You know,
if there's one that you're interested in, just ask if you want to get involved, and no one's gonna say no.
if you want to get involved, just contact us. Contact the task force themselves.
If you want to start your own.
Yeah, again, DDA is trying to be really supportive of these activism ideas that people often bring to us. So yeah, it's not like a fill out 10 forms and you can join our task force, like not like that at all. So yeah.
Historically, DDA has been a great thought leadership structure, like, so if you want to get involved, just say you want to get involved. If you say you want to do something, do it. That would be great. Yeah, and it's something that, like, I think, at least for me as a first year, it was very comforting to hear that, like, don't think that that's because like, you're new to things that you cannot contribute. Like, you bring with you a fresh perspective, new hopes and dreams.
like you with the bird, with the electric scooters, things like that. When I read your email, I'm like, oh dang, I didn't realize like how true this is.
You know what I found? And this is like
how to get algorithm tracking on it, yeah.
Oh, wait, I did not know that.
Wait, what
But
do you mean? Wait, what?
wait, that's my point separate from that. So
I want to hear about that.
I found a bird scooter and I was walking my car in Blue Zone, and there was just a bird scooter parked in the middle of the exit to the parking lot. Like you had to, it was like hard to drive around it. So like if you park, and it's even easier to park those things just in the middle of sidewalks. And so when you mentioned that, I was like, okay,
I
never
see
thought
it
about
now,
Yeah, I
yeah.
see it now. Yeah.
I was driving from east to west yesterday, and I was so appalled. I found 5 different instances of scooters parked in the middle of the sidewalk or in like on a literal corner. I took a picture of every single one. Probably not the safest thing to do while driving, but I did it, and it's just like, oh my god, like, what the heck? How is nobody like penalizing
I mean,
this? And so I guess I had a list of questions that I kind of wanted to ask just for general thoughts on. Like,
sure. Yeah. we can
I don't
get
really
into
get a good sense of how accessible was Duke's campus before the scooters came, like as a baseline.
That's a
Is
complicated
Duke's
question.
campus? I get the sense that Duke's campus is not all that accessible.
That is correct.
So at our panel last Thursday, I think Jay summed it up pretty well. It's like, for a college campus, Duke does an okay job of providing like accommodations and accessibility, but overall, like objectively, it is not an accessible campus. There are a lot of areas like look at that languages building. That whole building is inaccessible.
To put it quite bluntly, Duke's accessibility is pretty shitty. It's just slightly less shitty compared to a lot of other colleges, but
Yeah.
all of them are still shit.
Yeah, and it's just like what do you compare it to? So like does ADA, the American disabilities the American Disability Act provides a lot of guidelines, and a lot of buildings meet these guidelines, but that does not necessarily mean they're accessible because like there's so many loopholes in ADA. So no, I don't think it was very accessible.
Okay. And I guess how has accessibility changed since the arrival of the scooters? Like, have you any of you noticed in your daily lives? Like, how has that changed the accessibility of the already, what I'm hearing, not so accessible campus?
So the interesting thing is that I think there are some spots on campus where the scooters actually shut off and aren't allowed. Yeah, there's some dead zones out there. So at least, from my so like obviously you don't see too many people riding scooters like in this main quad or anything.
I've heard that they shut off here on Chapel Drive.
Yeah. So in those areas, it really hasn't affected much. Where there's a lot of foot traffic, where when the scooters go to die. But in places where they are allowed, I often see them just conglomerated into like large flocks. Yeah.
Lots of birds.
Yeah, lots of bird scooters into these little concentrated pockets.
Zella, just to voice the people who are on the live stream, Zella Hansen, forgive me if I'm not your name, but she just said that as a freshman, East Campus is
Accessibility is a
it's
whole
like a
joke. You are quite perceptive. I like that.
Wasn't it this last semester that they had the bikes? The bikes be worse than scooters. Wasn't it last semester?
Did they have the bikes taken away? Yeah, that was last semester. They kind of disappeared unseemingly, like
Because I remember seeing
seamlessly.
them everywhere as well.
The scooters have taken over
The
the
scooters,
spots
yeah.
of the bikes. So, do you have any other questions?
I do. Have you as DDA had any complaints from students about accessibility related to scooters?
I don't know.
Okay, cool.
Interesting.
I've heard things separately, but not through DDA.
Have you heard them?
I guess even outside of DDA, like we've heard people mention or complain about how scooters are impeding like accessibility on campus.
So you're talking about physical accessibility. right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Of course. I mean, so like, firstly, they like took back they scaled back the number of buses that they provide. So now people have to take scooters to get to places like Trent, to get to places like
Wait, really?
Franklin Humanities Center.
Oh.
Yeah, which are just like very far away because now there's no bus that goes near there. So like there's like a physical accessibility concern of how to get all the way over there. But then there's also like financial accessibility questions too, and like can we afford to use a scooter? I think they got rid of the bikes and replaced them with scooters, not only because the bike companies had problems, but also because like if you think about it, bikes are like take work to move and to pedal. And a scooter, you literally just sit on it and like it's like relaxing.
That was my concern because I was thinking I got in the comment. So I have an awful class schedule, and I have to run from Gross Hall on Science Drive to Biddle Music Building on next in 20
I
minutes.
had to do the same thing.
Yeah.
And so people are just saying, oh, just take a scooter. You can make it in that time. Like for now, I've been like running to the bus stop, which is yeah. So but I mean, you know, if that becomes the norm, like oh, just take a scooter and you can make it like that. That's obviously not accessible for everybody. That's not an accessible option. So you cannot depend on that.
Right, and the buses are so crowded.
Yeah.
And I think that's also, I mean, there's interrelated issues, right? Like now all of a sudden the bus drivers just have like super stressful rides every single time. There's so many students.
Yeah.
Like just overpacked.
Yeah. What did they cut? They cut down the CCX.
That's C2.
And the C2. All the central ones. So.
So these next two are kind of complementary questions. Like, what should the university be doing to make this better, and what can we as students, and I guess specifically as a student advocacy group, what can we do to change this question of how scooters make the campus less accessible physically, financially, and I guess all the cascading problems that come from that.
Oh gosh. 2 scooters partly curb cuts. That's
So
awful. Why would you even? You could just move it like flip over and it'd be like.
okay, so for your first question, what the campus can do, well, that's if the campus does anything, of course. That's a good question. Maybe expand the dead zones. Just ban it from Duke's campus altogether, and bring back the buses. For the second, that one I'm not so sure. For the second one, I'm gonna go with vandalism. Yeah, maybe arson.
Oh my
What was the
gosh.
second question?
What can students do to change this? And specifically student advocacy groups.
I think advocacy always starts with awareness or like publicity, and so I think you're doing a really good service in saying that like you're writing about this issue. So students, well, okay, I don't want to perpetuate the misconception that advocacy is only awareness because it's not. But once people are aware of the issue, I think it's more easy to bring it to, say, administration or I don't know what part of administration would deal with an issue like this.
I feel like parking and transportation.
Yeah, Tony Galliani might do a lot of stuff on this.
What name is it?
His name's Tony Galliani, he works in SDAO, he does a lot of like making sure buildings are accessible and have access to spaces.
So we could bring it to SDAO as an issue. And yeah, it's so.
I think like the reason why I recommended the Chronicle article is because the way that we framed it was like this is an example of Duke outsourcing its risk, right? Like if they put the onus on private scooter companies to provide transit instead of public transit that Duke provides, that's just like classic large capitalist neoliberal institution privatizing and outsourcing risk, which is problematic. I think also it's important to like have a lot of examples or like students that come forward and say that this is an issue for them personally, because otherwise administration won't do anything about it.
Right. And that was another question that I had. Do any of you know of anybody who uses like a mobility device that would be like directly implicated by, say, a scooter in a cutout of a street, who would be like to comment on their personal experience? And if not, that's okay too. But I think it would make a greater impact with somebody who has experience that can attest.
I don't know if I'd volunteer anyway, or I could just volunteer a name off the top of my head. But I mean,
Maybe we could reach out to people and ask if they're willing.
yeah.
Yeah, that would be good. And if you want to if we as DDA wanted to take this to administration, I think it's really important that we have a group of people that are representative of
Yes.
the people that we're going to be advocating for. So if people who do use mobility devices, it would be important to have their voices in the place to administration.
The thing is that the students who do use mobility devices, I do personally are to begin with, because as you said before, Duke is not the most accessible campus. It's more accessible than other places, but it's like at the panel last week, one of our students was saying how his older brother got into Duke and just decided not to go because it was so inaccessible. And these stories have continued on through the years, but maybe a little less so because his brother had the same condition as he did, and he uses a wheelchair. So the fact that he was able to come shows marks of improvement, but at the same time, it's you can probably count on your one hand how many students use mobility devices on campus.
A lot of comments.
Yeah.
So I can just read them out. Marion said, if these scooters are anything like the Lime bikes, they'll be eliminated within a year. It's impossible to enforce good scooter parking etiquette. You can try a mass public shaming campaign, and Andrew agrees. At least some sort of informational campaign that poor parking causes real issues for people on campus. Jay said, I really wish there were designated areas to park scooters. I use a wheelchair to get around campus, and the scooters have blocked a sidewalk for me on one occasion. So Jay Pandy was our president 2 years ago, and he uses an electric wheelchair. So I do think, it's definitely a problem because some of the sidewalks here are already quite inaccessible, if you use a mobility device, it's just very hard to navigate around. There are some back entrances to buildings, I know, and obviously hopefully it's going to be quite there, but on East Campus there are back entrances to buildings, and the walkways are and those are the accessible entrances, and the walkways are very narrow.
Yeah, Dr. Q just said something about a European city.
Yeah, I don't know why Duke Durham always opts for the dockless options. European cities use city bikes that can only be parked in designated docking areas.
My friend wrote a thesis on the bike share and docked versus undocked. There were two companies at one point in Durham 2 years ago. One that was docked and one that was undocked. And she did an analysis on why Duke chose to go with the undocked more. I could potentially ask her and use that maybe if that's helpful. But it's very true they always use the dockless ones.
That's something I
creates
know.
a question. See, this creates a really big collective action problem because if nobody feels a responsibility to take care of the resource,
No one's
then
gonna do
no one's going to take care of it. No one's going to care about where they park the scooter because it's not there, so they don't have a sense of ownership.
I think this is a universal design question too, which is it affects people with mobility devices, but also just people who might be vision impaired. Or last night I was running and it was dark, and I turned the corner and had to jump out of the way because there was a scooter right in the middle of the sidewalk. It affects everyone, It just affects people with mobility.
People driving, you probably have to driveway.
So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So you need 11 ski masks.
No.
And I know a lot of Durham residents have complained about danger.
Oh, really?
There's not, and Durham at large is terrible for having bike lanes. There's no bike lanes, so a lot of people who use scooters in Durham have to go
In the middle of the road. Yep.
For the sake of time, we should move on.
Yes.
It's almost
Thank
4
you.
hours. No, and if you please reach out to us again. We'd love to keep working on this issue.
It's a
So
very pertinent issue.
I mean, it's the most pertinent, I guess, thing. We see scooters everywhere, so it's very what's the word, salient in our minds right now. So I was going to announce the Synod Mobility screening, but Dan was already here and he announced it. For those of us who just joined joined through the live stream, Synod Mobility, the Art of Inclusion, the film. There's a movie screening with the director Jenny Gold on Wednesday, the 18th. It'll be in the Rubenstein Art Center, the Ruby Film Theater. It's going to be at 6 p.m. There's going to be a 6 p.m. reception, 7 p.m. Movie screening, and then a short Q&A with the director. And it's really cool. She features a lot of big names in Hollywood. The one I always remember is Ben Affleck. I saw it, I was like, whoa, Ben Affleck. So, yeah, that'll be great. We'll send out more information on that with a link to the film's website if you want more information. Another thing is DDA Exec Board. For those of you who are new, DDA Exec is looking for new members. It's a great opportunity if you want to get more involved in DDA early in the semester, gain experience in leadership roles and such, and work more on advocacy. And currently, we need people to take on the role of our publicity and outreach chairs. Maddie Fowler, who was our outreach chair, the publicity and outreach chair, Maddie Fowler, she's throughout the semester, so we'd love to have someone help with publicizing our advocacy and other things, etc. I was a secretary last semester, but obviously now I'm not the secretary. So that's an open position as well. And then also, since Trent is a senior, he's our master of coining, or treasurer in normal constitution language.
Or not normal.
But we're looking for someone to take on the role and help Trent help advise that person becoming our next treasurer. So, and we'll send out an interest form within the week. So if you're interested in getting more involved in DDA exec, really managing and coordinating all of our advocacy efforts together, because we have all of our task forces now, and those themselves operate very well autonomously. But DDA exec is here to really provide the support for all these things, connect them together, serve as a hub. So yeah, if you're interested, we'll send out a form again. Great. It's 12 p.m. Wow, great timing.
Good first meeting, everybody. Please be no,
Thank
seriously.
you guys for coming. And of course, please don't feel shy. If you have any questions or anything, feel free to reach out. And I promise that we will also make it more of a priority to do more fun things this semester. We're not just the group that tells Duke everything that's wrong with it, although that is a big part of what we do. But yeah, we also want to make it
Actually,
personal level.
that's a good segue to some of the last subject, Mark. But if you need to leave, please do. But this year I'm thinking GBMs instead of us doing the same. Last year it was mostly like we brought updates from our task forces, had people come in, introduce some partnerships or opportunities, and that would often happen every week. This year I was thinking having more every other week. We would have a community event, and it would be more discussion based. We could discuss things, and like, for example, we could bring up the scooter issue and things like that on campus, so we can continue discussing these issues. And it would be more casual. We snacks and stuff. It'd be nice. And this really stemming from when I joined DDA as a freshman. I was really looking for an outlet to discuss more of these issues. I was really curious about gaining and sharing people's perspectives and experiences on campus. And I feel like DDA is a very great space to do that. So more information on that will be sent out hopefully soon, maybe the next day. So yeah.
So is this your normal GBM time? Or?
Yeah, so every Saturday at 11 a.m. The location's almost always in West Union in this room. Usually, sometimes it's in the chaplain room, study room, other rooms, etc. So, but again, information on the location and time will be sent out more in advance than this GBM, which I sent out right last night. So, Anyways,
You know, it's pretty early in the day, but this is the time that seems to work for everyone.
sorry you can't. It's my bad. Anyways, thanks everybody for coming. It's great to see everybody again.
I'm gonna keep plugging in. Please be my treasurer in training. Remember, you get to choose the caterer.
Wait, Chad, what's your last name?
Wow.
So for
I just wanna quote
each.
Oh, what did you want to say?
So treasurer.
The B movie with
No.
vandalism.
Stuff.
No,
Yeah.
your comment about,
Are helping with PDA, like, general.
Oh, that's fine.
you said something really good.
Yeah.
Like,
That I
this.
Okay.
I'll send
I
you what it
really
was.
easily do because I already do it for you.
Okay. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
So.
I'm fine with people recording me, but if you like publish it, like I want to know what it is first.
Okay, it's just going to my professor.
I'm not a proficient player.
But I'll send it, I'll send it, and say that I'm.
So.
Yeah.
Sweet.
I've
Thank
never.
you. Yeah, I'm like small things like the B movie.
Oh, it was
they're on
about the
class.
banana, it was about the
Oh,
buses.
it's okay.
Well.
Yeah.
Katie?
Yeah.
Okay.
And how that's fueling more students.
Yay.
Danced a
Makes
lot.
me happy.
I think that's
I made the mistake of forgetting to send the location and stuff before, so I was excited that like people
Very good. Brenda, thanks so much.
missed
Might
the
be
meeting.
interested.
But I'm glad people realized.
Oh.
Is Hannah?
That might be interesting. Great. Thank you everybody who tuned in on the live stream. Yay. I don't know how to end it though.
Simon, do you know if you can like keep a record of the transcript from the chat?
I think it actually oh no. Oh, Jay said hi, Trent. Hi, Jay. It's like 20 seconds behind. Yeah. Okay, well, I will be sure to keep track. I think it keeps track. Usually records of things. If not, I think you're looking for Jay's
Yeah.
perspectives. I can ask Jay himself. Jay's very friendly.
If Jay would be willing to talk to me, I'd love to.
Yeah, and I'll ask Jay.
Yeah.
Maybe he's.
And
Yeah.
I think Pepper brought up a good point of how it's not only affecting people with disabilities, but also with vision disabilities.
I can talk about this is something we can talk about in class. This concept of universal design.
I have my also Dr. Q is willing to talk to me.
Oh, she probably knows just obviously. She knows what things are just really useful, obviously. Universal design is really the concept that when you make things accessible for a certain group, it benefits everybody. And that's like just the surface of it. Like, see, I think automatic door openers to West Union. This is an odd example because they were actually put in for a different reason, but this is just like the doors are heavy. We put automatic door openers because that's the people who are using a mobility device or something like that. And but at the same time, people use those door openers all the time to open those heavy ass doors because they are really heavy.
I think actually Melinda Gates actually.
It's writing. Who?
Melinda Gates.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
She wrote a book. It was about it's more about women, but she talks a lot about how like making things more inclusive for women benefits everyone, and just having diverse groups and economically benefits everyone. So maybe it's really sheds a light.
Do you want to migrate out?
Hey, do you need help?
Yeah, can I help you?
Yeah.
I'm just gonna unplug. I need to end the stream somehow. I don't know how to do that. And settings. Nope. I haven't. This is a new platform. We usually use a different.
DDAX DHSC. Yeah, I'll send
I think you just started.
No, it's
No, seriously, we're gonna go to the.
Is it recorded so like people can watch
I think it is
in
recorded.
retro? Yeah, okay.
And then we're gonna have you guys compare it.
This is so odd though. Usually,
So if I wanted to go back and look at it, I could find it.
yeah, and I think so. It's on our YouTube channel.
Ooh, you have a YouTube channel.
Yeah, we upload all of our recorded because people can't
Make it to the meeting.
make it to the meetings.
Edit?
Edit?
No.
This is so odd. Like I've never had this problem before.
I think if you just go out, it stops it.
I just texted my friend, lend me his car, and he was like, yeah, no, we're.
Yeah, like
We're
I
still
don't think
live.
I don't